students. I would like to congratulate you all because you all are promoted to 5th standard now, isn't it? Yes, today we will start our subject science, and in that we will learn about plants, the more things about plants. In the last classes, you have studied about the parts of plants, about leaf and about the photosynthesis process. Isn't it, my dear students? Yes. But in 5th standard, we have to learn something more about plants. Are you ready all? Yes. About reproduction. Reproduction means what? Do you know, my dear students? Reproduction means we all living organisms produce their young ones, and this process we call as reproduction. How the reproduction happens in plant? That we have to learn in the today's class. Okay? How a big mango tree can produce a small mango plant? Let us see. But before that, you have to revise the concept germination. Do you know what is the meaning of germination? See, if I have some seeds and I have planted in the soil, what is happening here? See very carefully. All the seeds are coming up. This process is called as germination process. And this is the very important process while the reproduction is happening in the plant. Okay? If I have a big mango tree like this. Yes, see here how many mangoes are there? Too many mangoes are there, isn't it? Yes, all of you have eaten the mangoes. And inside the mango, what is present? Seed is there, isn't it? This is like that. Okay? This is a mango seed. What happens when we put a mango seed into the soil? Let us see. This is a mango seed. If you put it into the soil, what happens? Germination starts. Means the leaves come up, and again the entire baby plant will grow. This is the reproduction process in mango. But actually, we have to see what is that inside a seed. Carefully observe this image. See here, this is a seed, and in that, this part is called plumule. Means after the day passes, it grows into leaves, and then radicle. It goes deep into the seed as roots, and this is the seed pod which protects the seed. Afterward, it vanishes when tree grows. Like this, in a seed, the processing happens. I want to show you one seed, and in that, I want to show you the small parts in that. Okay? Are you ready? Yes. Let's check it out.
Here, my dear students, here I have some sprouts. ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಳು ಮೊಳಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಳು ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನೆಸಿಟ್ಟು what we have to do after removing the water, we have to put into the cotton cloth. Okay, we get these sprouts. Okay, let us see the different parts of this sprout. Okay, see here, this is called as seed coat, the outer part. What we call this as a seed coat. See, I am going to remove this seed coat. This seed coat is for a protection of that seed. Okay, then here I have removed that one, and this part we call as radicle. Later on, this part becomes roots. Then let us divide the cotyledons. See here, you can see plumule. Yes, here this is plumule. Okay, and these two parts are called cotyledons. Why we call this a cotyledon? Because two parts are there. See, we can see the plumule, the radicle and the cotyledons. But some seeds, we can't make the two parts like this. We call them as monocot. But in this seed, we can see the cotyledon, the radicle and the plumule. This plumule later on becomes leaves. Okay?
Have you seen that? Yes, plumule and the radicle is present inside the seed, isn't it? Just take some seed, means you can take gram seed. We can say in Kannada ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಳು. You can take this ಹೆಸರು ಕಾಳು ತಗೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಪಾತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀರಿಟ್ಟು 4-5 hours ಇಡಬೇಕು. After that you remove the water and you tie that all the seeds into a cloth, cotton cloth. Then automatically the sprouts will form, and in the sprout you can open the sprout. Okay, we can get the two parts that is called as cotyledon. Okay, but some seeds like rice, wheat, we can't make the two parts of it. So we can call them as monocot. Okay, yes, we can call them as monocots. Up to now we have learned about seed, and using the seed the plant can reproduce their young ones. Okay, now do you know rose plant? Is there any fruit present inside the rose? No. Hibiscus plant? Is there any seed present? No. Sugarcane? Is there any seed? No. In some plants they cannot produce seed, but they can reproduce. How? Like this. See, we are having some stems of rose, and see the roots are coming out from the seed. What we have to do? We have to cut the stem and put them into the soil. After some days, by getting the correct weather, what will happen? The plant will grow slowly with the help of a stem. Yes, some plants can reproduce by their stem. Now let us move on to the next. Means some plants can reproduce by their leaves. Have you seen Brahmakamala? Yes, in Kannada, the big flower is there, and that big flower is coming from a leaf. See? Yes. There is no other parts, only leaf, and from the leaf it can reproduce. So reproduction can be happened by the leaves also. Then some plants and some leaves are having seeds. Some plants having leaves, and below the leaves there are seeds. Do you want to see that? See here. The name of this plant is fern, and here there is a leaf, and behind the leaf the small dots are there. That are nothing but seeds. They are called as spores. Okay, and by this part they can reproduce their young plant. Okay, by this way a plant can produce young plant. And let us move on to the next example. Have you seen a potato? And in that potato, have you seen the small buds? Yes, in this rainy season, what happens? The small buds are starting to grow. Have you seen that? Let us see an image. See here, the small buds are there. What we call them as eyes. Yes, very nice. Eyes are there, and through this stem, do you know potato is a stem? Okay, and through this stem the plant produces and develops. So reproduction happens only by the stem. Do you know carrots, beetroots, what are they? Are they roots? Yes, they are roots. And how they can reproduce? Is there any seed present there? No. They can produce their young plant with their roots. With the carrot itself can produce more roots, and by that root plant grows up. Like this, reproduction happens in a plant. So we have learned about reproduction by seed and reproduction by stem, reproduction by leaves and reproduction by roots. This much we have learned today. Let us move on now how these seeds fall down. Okay, what is the main procedure here? For the mango seed, what we do? Animals, human beings eats the mango and throw away the seeds, isn't it? But for some other plants, how they reproduce, how they scatter their seeds here and there. This procedure, scattering of seeds, is called as dispersal. Means we can't put each and every seed into the soil of every plant. There should be a procedure, and that procedure is called as dispersal. Dispersal means what? Scattering of seeds through plants. Dispersal means what? Scattering of seeds through the plant. And there are many ways of scattering of seeds. By wind, by water, by animals, and by explosion. These are the 4 types by which dispersal happens. Let us see one by one. Okay? Dispersal by wind. ಗಾಳಿ ಮೂಲಕ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅನದರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ತರ ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. Which are the examples for that? See, cotton seed. Yes, what is happening here? This is a plant having seeds around it. Okay, this is just like a fruit. What is happening here? It is moving with the wind. Yes, they are very light, so that if a strong wind comes, automatically all the seeds go with the wind. Okay, that's why this dispersal is called as dispersal by wind. Okay, then let us move on to the dispersal by water. Some plants nearby to the water, means for example lotus and coconut trees, where they grow generally? They grow near the water. If any coconut falls in the water, what happens? It float and float, goes here and there. Then it will reach at some place. If it finds in a place where soil is there, then reproduction rate happens, germination happens, and small plant can grow. Okay, with the same procedure will happen with lotus. What we call them as dispersal by water. Then let us move on to dispersal by animals. See, I have told earlier that we eat any food, fruit. For example, if we eat mango, then what we do? We throw the seed, they eat that fruit, and what they do? They throw the seed away. So in this way, the dispersal happens by animals. In another way, birds eat small fruits. By their waste, it goes to anywhere and the baby plant will come up. Like this, dispersal by animals happens. Now let us move on to the last one. Dispersal by explosion. Do you know what is the meaning of explosion? Means blast is there. There is something blasts into the plant and seeds get dispersed. See, like this. Here one seed is there and inside too many seeds are there. Okay, explosion is happened here and what happens? All the seeds scattered here and there. This is dispersal by explosion. So my dear students, today in this class we have learned so many things about the reproduction and about how seeds can scatter from one place to another place. Yes. Do you know how guava seeds can disperse? Yes. Parrot or any bird eats that guava, and what happens? Through their waste, the seed come out and germination process takes place and the baby plant will grow. Like this, reproduction happens. So today, my dear students, we have learned so many things. You have to recall it again and again, and you have to do the activity which I have shown you. That is, put some seeds into the water. Okay, make them as a sprout, and you have to open it, and you have to identify each and every part of that seed. The outer coat is there, plumule is there, radicle is there, and of course the cotyledons. Okay, my dear students, in the next class we will learn the next concept about plants.